Dark here with another match on Aorta. I get to pick the maps, which is very nice. I highly encourage anyone who is sick of pillars to host their own games and to pull maps off the workshop and host matches they want to play or watch. And hell, even if you're at home and you're doing something else, maybe you're not playing the game, but your computer's up, it's running, and your internet's free and open, consider hosting matches so that those with crappier potato computers who can't host their own matches can play maps other than pillars. Because Nebulous is hell on your computer just because there's so much going on and there's so many, a lot of physics, a lot of graphics, a lot of science-y stuff that is certainly too far beyond my comprehension to be able to explain effectively. Team 1ANS, who looks to not be bringing very many ships. Team 2 OSP. Maybe I should switch them from time to time. Yeah, I should probably start doing that. I don't know, it just seems right. Team 2 to be OSP since they were the second faction added. But it'd probably make the matches more interesting if players had different routes. Right now I'm mainly using Aorta and Bulwark because those are the ones that are stable. Salar is also stable, but it's 10-man. And you can't have a lobby size more than 10, so I couldn't spectate that. It's fun to play on, it's fun to host, but I couldn't spectate that and bring it to you, dear viewer. And so I haven't been doing that. Some of the other maps I've got just aren't very stable. I could do Ganymede Incident, which is a really good map, but the poor players have to listen to their radar contact constantly going off, because contacts will disappear and reappear on your scope because of how scattered the cover is. So you're just constantly getting ping, 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 ping. There, we got an MC running guy with roll-off missile launchers on a line ship, and it's got that, and it looks like a scout. Yeah, PD and an illuminator. So it's gonna have some semi-actives, presumably. Oh my God! I'm gonna keep an eye on you, buddy. It's a fascinating little fleet you got there. I got a couple of Gunocellos with some E-War on them. Just some like, I want to play the ANS, but I want to be on the OSP team ships. With the Bloodhound. That's you. We already looked at you. A absolutely gigantic fleet of frigates. Probably going to be, yeah, pretty much all rocket launchers. Oh my. This is just going to ruin someone's life. This is going to ruin a lot of someone's lives. That's great. That's what we're here for. EWR and maybe a lyrebird. I can't tell if that's a doodad or a lyrebird up there. It's probably a doodad considering it's on top of the bridge. And EWRs eat a lot of power. Players having issues. Got a interesting dedicated PD ship with some light cannons and a VLS-3. It's quite a menacing little ship to any small vessels that get in range. And it's supported by, yeah, okay, a trio of C-53 tugs with also cruisers and some cannons on them. Just a dangerous little fleet. If the ANS has any missile ships they don't want to be firing over there. A pair of gun Axfords. Yeah, looks like a natural extension of the old Oak starter fleet. This is dangerous. It's not sure where it's going, though. It's kind of backing up. It's kind of moving forward. So that's something to be worried about. We also got a Solomon over here. Gun Solomon. Lots of defenders just ready to absolutely ruin someone else's day. A lot of day ruiners on this team. Bunch of Sarissas. good anti-container fleet here. Unfortunately for him, there are no containers on the OSP team. 2 light cruisers. What are you doing, my voxel-wielding friend? A lot of missile launchers of different sizes, too. No spams. Got 3s, 1s, and 2s, alongside a couple cannons. It's a very dangerous fleet. I've been pretty impressed overall with all the fleet builds thus far. There's nothing that has particularly struck me as being trash. Well, I say that, but that's too many. That's too many blanket defenders. There's too many blanket jammers. I don't know, maybe you can get something to work with those, or maybe you can just really, really mess with someone's radar by dumping all those on someone at once. That's you're giving up a lot of guns for all that, and a lot of other stuff, presumably, because those jammers take up a lot of electricity. So those internals gotta be plant control, radio amplifiers. This is very interesting. This is a dedicated E-War ship, but on a voxel platform in a team of other voxels. Got a bullseye with some guns. Defender on the backpack. Same thing up here. Bullseye, guns, and defenders. Also, Mark 1 rocket launcher. Where is that? Not sure. Okay. Lovely, lovely view. Looks like first contacts happening outside of Echo Charlie line. These missile and gun voxels. I don't know if they'll be able to handle this fist fight with the tug. Jarvis better get his little ship out of there. It's going to get blown to smitheroonies. Maybe not. What's the range on that? I don't know. Long range. But if these... Oh, man. If these rocket pods can sneak up onto these voxels, they're going to be gone. Voxels do not like rockets. I don't think anything likes rockets. But voxels in particular are quite vulnerable to them. If you can get the right angle, because they just don't have much armor. They can dodge pretty effectively. But they're vulnerable enough if you can get the right angle. Was I wrong? Is there a container ship? No, it's the MLS roll-off. I forgot about you. That's right. So the anti-container crew might be a good thing to have on this team. There's no actual container ship, but the MLS roll-off line ship is just the same. The PD is not firing. There's no point defense. No, there are a couple defenders, but they're facing up. They're the upwards facing defenders, and these shots are coming from below. So this voxel is going to get almost completely wiped out from the word go. First weapons fire in the game, taking out a ship almost entirely. There is not much left here. And there's a damage control central. This DC lockers might burn down. It's reinforced, which is going to help it survive. This large is fine. Oh, man. Yeah, that's about... this is a pretty good hit, I guess. That's fine. That's okay. Jarvis's ship is getting shot up. Okay, here are the AMMs. I'm not sure why the AMMs on this other guy's ship didn't fire. Might have had him on manual mode and forgot to switch him to doctrine. These are pretty effective, but I have a feeling our roll-off man is going to have more missiles than this guy has AMMs, and that's for sure. 3 more hits on this voxel team. I thought these guys were going to be doing the most work on the ANS team, but it looks like they're going to be taken down incredibly fast by... No, that's the wrong thing. By Quiz and his roll-off launcher, quite strong. The Sex Haver and the Helen Keller flying wingsuit are also laying into the ship. Oh, that's wrong. Shame on you. It's beautiful and I love it. Looks like this tug's gonna be able to get away. Oh man, those are some near misses though. Get away mostly intact. Or maybe not. I guess it doesn't take many hits from those 450s to do some real damage. Assuming that is firing 450s. Yeah. Yeah. 450 HE. Nothing but 450 HE. That's, honestly, against the OSP, that's not a bad idea. They don't really have that much in the way of armor. Oh, that's unfortunate, but it's not gonna matter. Because as we've seen, these voxels don't have any point defense that is being effective. I don't know if he didn't bring any munitions for those. Oh, that is brutal. Okay, you're out of the fight. Yeah, go home. The reactor might be exploding. No. Magazine is currently exploding, but I think that's going to get fixed up in time, maybe. The other voxels over here. Missiles going at these guys. Well, not even going at these guys. Just being within 2 clicks of these guys means that they get evaporated. Okay, Jarvis's scout is down. Hondo's last. Is he... Are you direct firing the missiles? I think that's exactly what happened. He just manually targeted and shot at those missiles that were coming around the corner here. That is a hell of a play. I didn't even know you could do that. I mean, it makes sense. There's no reason why not. That would be something arbitrary, preventing missiles from being targeted by normal guns. Wow. Okay, so yeah, Nabarloya. This guy's gonna be someone to watch out for. I don't think these are gonna have the maneuverability for this. Yeah, no. Unfortunate. We are going to see how effective that point defense is. Pretty effective. Maybe the Sarissa was shooting those that were over here. No, because those are definitely normal rounds that were going and hitting those. And not as effective at the oblique angles. Especially since all the Sarissas like to fire at the same target. That's good information. Be careful with that, kids. We've got a Rocket Brigade up here, ready to swoop in on an unsuspecting, well, this unsuspecting team of voxels. Presumably the radar's off, and no, increased. Yeah, these are operating in normal mode. But if he figures out that these are down here, these are going to be in big trouble. Not looking great for the ANS team right now. They haven't really gotten any damage done, and already a player is knocked out. Hondo's going to be leaving. Unfortunate. I think this... Well, no. No, it's not still alive, is it? And it's about to really not be alive. See you later. They're gonna miss entirely. Never mind. Well, in any case, he disconnected. Oh, my... Yeah, I guess that didn't get fixed up in time. Quite an explosion. No one caught in it, which is good. Getting blown up by a reactor is never fun. Watching your enemies get blown up by their own reactors is always fun. I guess it's really just a matter of perspective. That is not going to be enough firepower to deal with Axfords. This little team down here is about to get destroyed. Oh, these Axfords. What are y'all firing at this? 50, 250, 120. A little bit of everything, actually. Okay, that's fine then. I say these Axfords are having a tough time hitting, and those 450s are definitely having a tough time hitting, but these 250s are also having a tough time hitting. Yeah, there's more 450 rounds. Just not quite landing on this tug. Another round of missiles going in. All right, here's the fight I've been waiting for. There's a completely ridiculous volume of missiles against a heavily point defensed little group right here. Sarissa frigate doesn't have the best angle, but those defenders are out of control. It's not going to be enough. One gets through. It is going to be enough. Only one gets through. It dealt damage to a berthing and a couple of mount gyros. That's unfortunate, but overall, I'd say that PD is paying for itself quite effectively. He's got his guns blasting at this rocket team down here, which is capping Echo, while handling so many defenders. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of damage not happening. Okay, it looks like the upper rocket team is moving. Or just readjusting? Yeah, they looked like they were going to maybe go in and then they decided against it. Okay. Firing at the Ocellos. Another absolute mass of missiles. The defenders, you'd be getting more out of flak than defenders. But, ooh, yeah, not quite as effective as they were last time. In fact, not very effective at all. A lot of hits out of those. And I think that was a couple of defenders. A lot of fires, a lot of permanent damage done. Yeah, one defender knocked down. That's a big problem. Several defenders damaged. Several defenders knocked out, actually. Oh, yeah, that is significantly smaller volume of fire. So that point defense is not going to be enough if another big volley comes out of Quiz. Things are not looking great for the ANS team. Okay, these guys are sitting up here, and it looks like these guys are about to get caught out by this rocket brigade. Oh, my. It's 2 Rocket 18s on every one of these shuttles, and there are 4 shuttles for a grand total of a fucking lot of rockets. I don't know what 36 is times 4 is off the top of my head, but it's a bunch. Oh, those are taking a lot of damage. The PD is doing a better job than I would have expected, honestly. I guess because rockets come from straight on, but they're still taking an absolute butt-pounding amount of damage. Yeah, drive blocks messed up. Drive blocks almost completely destroyed. I don't know what to call it, because it's the reactor and the drives. So is it a drive block? Is it a reactor block? Is it engineering? Engineering might be more accurate. Uh-oh. Torpedo called finish him. Moving very slowly. Probably has a maxed out payload. This is going to do an absurd amount of damage. Or it's going to do no damage at all. Interesting. I don't know what happened there. Jarvis is having some problem. Is there like a networking issue going on right now? Maybe. Oh no, it's because if you're too close with rockets, they have trouble. I remember the devs talking about this. Actually, if you're just a little too close, they won't shoot well. It's a little PSA for everyone out there. And out in the black. Don't get right up on someone with your rockets, because they will just not be able to fire sometimes. I'm not sure why that is. But that is confirmed by the developers to be the case. You just get on top of someone if you get within a click. Or that. Yeah, formations will really mess with you if you've got people in tight. A lot of jank. A lot of jank in this game, but God, it's beautiful. I love it. This Axford is coming back to life. Might should have played dead for a little bit till it could retreat. Well, I don't know where it would retreat to. Looks like while we were looking down here, Nabarloya got finished off by rockets and by Ocellos. Or missiles and Ocellos. Hee. Well, oh my, that's very bright. Apologies. Yeah, we only knew that Solomon getting finished off by missiles was a matter of time after those point defenses started not performing. Yeah, definitely. Those Axfords, even as beat up as they are being very effective with the PD. I think part of the reason the defender spam on the Solomon didn't work very well is because the positioning of the Solomon's point defense hard points are kind of weird, so the defenders wind up firing at oblique angles, and ships just have problems tracking. Oh man, some accuracy problems on those Axfords. I guess it's not too surprising considering how beat up they are. Probably having trouble generating a good picture of the of this ship. Did the upper fight ever happen? No? These Voxers are still just hanging out. And these rocket ships are maybe moving in. This rocket player's having all kinds of problems with this shuttle doing what he doesn't want him to. Which is not good. You don't want that. Oh, there goes one of those Axfords. Nothing else is in that explosion except for the other Axford, which is not good for him. Yeah, you can see the butt and midsection of this thing has just been cooked. Didn't quite reach the nose, but that's a lot of reactor scoring across that. I'm thinking that's going to be an OSP victory. It kind of annihilated the EC team over here. Mid team hasn't been faring that much better. I mean, he put up a better fight for sure. But he did eventually get overwhelmed by those rockets and the guns. And these voxels are just going to get smashed by what remains. Though I am looking forward to seeing what this player does. He spent most of the time just sitting up at Delta here. I don't know if he knew that those were up there and he was trying to bait them into coming after him and then he could finish them off. Or if he just wanted to hang out or what. But he's now going to have to deal with a combined might of almost the entire OSP fleet. I think the only losses the OSP have taken so far is, this early warning radar ship. And that's it. Yeah, the paint up here will give me that information. I don't need to look around. That is all. And we've got a barrage of missiles coming from the wannabe container ship that I think has actually done more work than a container ship would have, because that Solomon would have completely shut down a container ship. So some nice little mind games coming out of our missile guy, or not mind games, metagaming, I think is the correct term. You know, the Solomon's building against containers because containers are very common and containers are very dangerous for Solomons. But if you just build overwhelming Type 2s, which this guy has, then they beat what should beat containers. And yeah, this guy's got full of defenders, which is not going to be enough. Where are these going? I don't know, and neither does the guy who fired him. That's fine. Looks like these have found their targets. I don't know, they might be sniffing the chaff. Captain Tying Knot is doing work with very little right now. Completely soft killing this whole barrage of missiles. Very impressive. It's chaff plus drives in flank speed. Using a radar drive? No, just a bog standard. reactors. Yeah, standard drives here too. Okay. But it is not going to be enough. We got gunfire coming in. More missiles, so if he happens to make a mistake while fighting, well, if more missiles came in and he happened to make a mistake while fighting one of the other teams and not pay attention to the missiles, be in big trouble. Ah, this guy probably direct fired or track fired the missiles, and they were guesstimating that the voxels would be down here inside the aorta, and so they slammed into the wall. I too have had lots of problems with track firing things. It's very easy to want to do that, but it can really bite you in the butt if you're not careful with it. Yeah, that's the ball game, which I think I've said already, actually, so sorry about that. But this Axford is still sort of alive over here. It's getting pounded by that Gunno-Cello. Oh my goodness. A barrage of rockets coming in. Oh man. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. This was a pretty one-sided game. I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna upload this. I'm still not entirely sure what I should and shouldn't upload, because I don't have the time to just cast hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of matches a week, but I also want there to be a wide variety of things for people to watch, because I like watching Nebulous, and I like watching casted games. And so yeah, I wanted to provide that to the public, because there's not really much of it around. I don't think this AAR is going to be super of note. 5K on that Solomon, it's more than I expected. Just blasting with the 450 HEs. Yeah, it's pretty one-sided. I don't think we need to go over this. I upload this and y'all watch this and you don't want to watch these, if that makes any sense. Like, you really don't like these one-sided matches. I think they're informational, because any match can be informational, but maybe not the most entertaining thing. I don't know. So if you see this uploaded and you don't really want to watch these sorts of matches, please let me know. Just say so in the comments. Be like, hey, this is fucking boring. I don't like this. If you enjoy Nebulous in all of the games it can give, then yeah, you can comment that as well. Actually, I do want to look at one thing before we get out of this match. How did 38,000 damage? Now this is after they fixed the overkill damage counter, so that's actually 38,000 damage thereabouts out of this thing, which is absolutely incredible. 104 misses. God, an absurd amount of kills and misses, actually, but 95 hits on those things for an absolutely hilarious damage number. Very nice, very impressive work. Quiz repping the Martian Navy. And that's all from me. I'll see you next time, if not before.